Yeah, we bring in longtime Met Cliff Floyd, who, among the 7 uniforms hanging up at home, counts the Mets as a special one. Cliffy, thanks for being with us. Hey, you're watching this along with the rest of the world. 10-4 start for the Mets. Are you buying the start?
I'm buying. I really am. And here's why, Matty. You think about the offseason, what they brought in to this team to go along with what they already had. I mean, it just makes sense why they win it. You bring in Buck as a manager, just solidifies it. But, you know, you have to always have that next man up mentality, and they have that. Jacob deGrom is off, you know, is out for a while, and you have to figure out who's going to take up the slack. Francisco Lindor is balling, and you sort of put guys around him now where he's having fun. You see him more vocal. You see him doing his thing, and he had to get settled. So the human element sort of played a part in probably him playing the way he played last year. But when you look at this team right now, I'm buying. They're playing well within the division. They 5-2. They beat a really good team in the San Francisco Giants. 3 games out of 4. So this, to me, smells like a really good year for the Mets. And when they get Jacob deGrom back, if they should get him back, sooner than later, this team just flies through, I think.
You're coming up in about an hour on MLB Tonight, and you're going to talk about a guy that you've watched pretty closely. One of your former teams, the Cubs, off to a 6-6 kind of push-shove start. But Seiya Suzuki looks like he's real as well. Tell us about what you've watched in Suzuki.
So I had a chance to, do a couple games, and the big thing that I really enjoy watching is he had a plan when this all started. He takes a lot of pitches. He's not up there trying to go deep every bat. He came over here with 32 homers in 138 games. So you're thinking, well, we're going to see, the long ball consistently, and it's not the case. He has a plan. He understands the strike zone, and most of the guys that come across the waters and sort of, throw right into the fire, they have to figure it out on the fly. I think he's figured it out. He has some different stances in spring training. And then I think he solidified himself as far as saying, look, I see what Shohei's done. Shohei's made some adjustments as far as what he's done with his swing and his stance, and it's working. But he's staying with the leg kick. He's very patient at the plate. He don't mind him with 2 strikes. And I think he'll be a force in the middle of that lineup for the Cubs. And hopefully sooner or later they'll be a contending team again.
Cubs playing host to the Pirates tonight, a team that's off tonight after a pretty good road trip, the Los Angeles Angels. And I'm dying to get your thoughts on Shohei Ohtani because, dude, yesterday, 12 punch-outs, completely dominated a team and a lineup that doesn't strike out a lot. We know that about the Astros. Give me your thoughts on Ohtani's start to the season.
Well, I've always said, you know what, I still can't believe he's doing what he's doing. I really can't. I mean, you think about how good he is on both sides, hitting and then pitching. And he knows, and he came to the ballpark yesterday knowing that the Astros had his number. And he had to go out there and sort of do exactly what he did to just get the confidence back. To understand, I'm really this good. I can go out here and dominate a really good lineup and go up to the plate and do what I do. The plate hasn't been a problem. He's been on the mound sort of feeling for it. And rightfully so. I think it's really hard for him to go out there and be consistently as good as we expect him to be. But he's shown he can be a superstar in this league, so we expect a lot.
Angels in first place in the AL West. I mean, you talk about an easy over. His strikeout total yesterday was 5.5, and He punched out 12. That's a rocking chair play for somebody. Hey, I want to get your thoughts on Miguel Cabrera. Speaking of milestones, the longest stretch of hitless at-bats for a player going from 2,999 to 3,000 is Carl Yastrzemski. That's in the modern era. It took him 10 at-bats to get to 3,000. We see Cabrera go hitless today. I mean, is there real pressure in his mind? You know him a little bit. Is he the guy who's thinking about this, or is it just another day at the ballpark for him?
I really think he's human, and he has to think about it. I mean, I think he's one of those guys that loves the game. He's always smiling. But, he probably went to bed with it on his mind, especially when you get, the 3 hits last night to get to within 1 away, and you see those type of swings right there. The umpire, in betweener. So it's on his mind, but you're going to always see that right there, Matty. That to me lets me know that he ain't really worried about it. The smile on his face, he always enjoying himself on the field, and Booney's like, look, I'm trying to win a game. So the fans, I get it. It's a packed house. They want to see number 3,000. But Aaron Boone and the Yankees trying to win the game. And that's just what it boils down to. So, baseball is what it's baseball. It's not going to change the fact that I'm trying to put a dub in the win column on the Yankee side. And on the flip, I think we all know Miggy at some point is going to get number 3,000.
Hey, let me hit you with something from your own career, because we were just visiting. You played a long time, man, 17 years in the big leagues, and one of the milestones that you might not remember as well, you were a teammate of Julio Franco when he was 47 years old and became the oldest dude to homer. What was the conversation like in the dugout that day?
You know, if I remember correctly, I mean, he lived for every moment he got a chance to go in that box. He loved hitting. You know, his stance was unusual and totally different. When we look at all the different stances, his is one that stands out the most, Matty. But, you know, he lived for those moments. Like, he lived to sort of show off the fact that he was that old, still hitting tanks, right? So, you know, it was always fun when he was around, and we kept it light. He was mild-mannered way more than people gave him, you know, credit for, because I enjoyed being around him. He talked hitting like some of these pitchers talk pitching to their dudes. Jake Peavy was on the show yesterday. He was talking about how Greg Maddux helped him when he got to San Diego. I feel like Julio Franco, when I was in New York, was always in my ear about what the pitcher's trying to do, certain situations, but when it came time for him to hit, he went up there and did his thing.
I love you and Peeve together on that desk, by the way, man. Peeve with all his win one for the boys stuff, and you're just chill and telling him to slow down. It was awesome.
It was fun, man. We had a blast. He was good. You know what? He's hard on himself, man. I'm like, yo, bro, you had 2 shows in this stuff. You think it's easy?
He's a natural, man.
He is natural.
And you're coming up at 5:30 on MLB tonight, or 6:30 on MLB tonight again tonight. Cliffy, you're the best, man. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for having me, dog.